This is a tutorial for the NCTest app, and in this tutorial I'm going to focus on the EOC for English 2. When you come to the test, you will see your name, student ID, and school. You'll also see the name of the test on the start screen. If any of this information is incorrect, please let your test administrator know. When the test administrator says to start the test, click Start. So in the English test, there are passages that you will need to read and then answer. A lot of these will be multiple choice questions. Some of the tools at the top of the screen that you will use: you can flag a question if you do not know the answer or you want to come back and review your answer. You can flag it by pressing on the flag icon or by selecting this box. If you want to mark out an answer choice, you click on the circle with the X over it to strike through, and then you click on the answer choices that you don't want to mark as the answer. Notice that you cannot mark out every single answer. When you are ready to answer the question, you need to click the strike through button again at the top so that you get your pointer, and then you can answer the question. If you decide that you don't want that to be the answer after you've selected it, you just click it again or select the button that has the correct answer. The highlighter tool is a free highlight tool. So you can highlight any way that you want to. I wouldn't recommend drawing curly cues, but you can highlight the words that you want. If you want to erase some highlighting, you hit the highlighter button with the strike through, and then it acts as an eraser. If you want to erase all highlighting, you would click the highlighter with the X to clear all highlighting. If you have any questions about what any of these icons at the top mean, you can press the question mark, and it tells you about the different icons, the navigation buttons, and then how to answer each question type. If you start answering a question and then you just want to reset it, you can hit this back button to reset. So now it is back to the version that I started with. You can move the gray lines if the passage was longer or shorter, or you wanted to create more space for either side. You can move those gray lines. So I'm not going to answer this question, so you can see what that looks like later. I'm going to hit Next down here at the bottom to move to the next question. This question is a short answer question. To answer the short answer question, you will put your cursor in the text box and then start typing. Notice as I type, the word count or the character count goes up, and it tells you out of how many characters you have left. So I've used 19 out of my 1,000 characters. Again, you can move these gray boxes to move the sizing as you see fit. I'm going to flag this question to come back to it later. Notice at the bottom, you also have navigation buttons for back, which takes you to the previous question, first, which would take you to the first question in the section, and next. This question type is a selection tool, so it tells you the directions at the top. Please select or click on the line that conveys the idea of passing time. So I see with the gray bars that I can move, so I'm going to recommend moving those gray bars so you can see more of the passage. You may also need to scroll on a passage. So if you notice that you can't see all of the text, use your mouse to scroll through and see the entire text. To actually select, you would hover over the words, and you see that there's a line. That tells me that that's activating that line to click. So if this is my answer, I click on it, and it becomes down here under selected. If I want to change my answer, I come back over to where I was hovering before and click it again. Notice that it is now not in the selected portion. A little warning, you can select multiple lines, but of course that would not be correct in this case because it's only asking you for one line. So I'm going to deselect and only press so I have one section selected. This type of question, you're going to select the synonym that can replace reverent in the poem. So you see reverent is bolded here. And when I select an option, it's going to replace it in the text. Notice that whatever you click on, that is the one that you are selecting, and that is you answering the question. So be careful that if you want to come back to it and change your answer, that you are flagging it. Another thing that you need to worry about is if you try to click outside the box, or outside the screen, you will get this unexpected exit message. So do not try to go to other programs while you're taking the test because it will lock you out of the test. You do have a certain time limit, so it's okay, but you should press the continue button to go back to the test. The same thing with pausing. If you have a bathroom break or a pause in the test session, you will be told to click the pause button. You have up to 60 minutes where you can pause the test without it locking you out completely. When you're ready to go back to the test, you would hit the continue button. The review page shows you what questions you have answered, how many you have answered. So you can see I've only answered 3 out of 4 items, and I flagged 2. So this tells me I should look back at my questions and see, okay, which one did I not answer so I can go back and answer that question. To go back to the number 1, which I did not answer, notice that there's no asterisk here. I would click on the number 1 and I can go back directly to number 1. Go to mark B, and then I'm going to go right back to the review page so I can see, okay, now it is answered. I flagged number 2 and number 4. That's what the question mark means. So I could go back to number 2 and say, okay, yeah, now I understand, or I feel better about my answer, and go back to review. You can leave items flagged. It's not going to hurt you to leave it flagged. Once you're done with the test, you can hit end test and a caution message will appear. So be sure that you are ready to end the test. If you're not, you want to go back and review your answers one last time, you can hit cancel and go back through. But in this case, I'm going to end the test. If you have any questions about the testing app or about the English specific questions, please talk to your teachers, and good luck.